So I'm out on a walk again. It's Sunday, 22nd December. So we had shorter stay yesterday, so the days are getting longer. There's a plane just going by there. So I just climbed up here from sea level. So on foot today. Well, the bike is parked on the coast, and it's a nice view over there. Very nice day. A little bit high cloud, but I think I'm going to head up. This is Boron, so I'm heading up Boron, and then I'll just see how it goes. It's nice to get out on a Sunday, get some air in the lungs. Not too many people here either, which is nice. So over there in the distance you've got the Marina Bay des Anges, and then Cap d'Antibes over far distance. It's around about midday, so I won't be doing a long walk today, I don't think. Let's pause it. So now heading up to the top of Boron, up this path here. It's quite pleasant little path. You see all the newly planted trees here. The little I think they're cardboard protection of them. Yeah, I think these are newly planted trees or shrubs. Can't really see what it is. Yeah, I can't see at all, but I'm not an expert on trees by any means. So this is the fort over that wall. That's typical plane, just start filming, a plane passes overhead. So there's loads of these blue plantings here, the bright blue protection they put on it. And this fort is not particularly high. It's closed though, you can't go in there. It's military, and it's I don't know, we're maybe 200 meters above sea level here. So it's not, but it's nice to come up here. It's normally pretty quiet. I mean, it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday lunchtime now, so there's hardly anybody about. Just a bit of forest. Used to come up here with Charlie sometimes to see the stars at night in the winter evenings. As it gets quite dark here, there's no street lighting or anything. Tiny bit of breeze here, but not much at all. It's a nice view. This is the walls. This is the dry moat, and the other side of that. So it's about 4 or 5 meters deep, 5 or 6. That sounds like a plane just taking off, maybe over the airport, over there in that direction. There's hardly anybody about. I've seen about one person on this path so far. There's the med over there. It's a little bit hazy. Things seem to be a bit crazy in the world at the moment. We've had the Trump election, and it's weird that the president, Joe Biden's still the president, but it's Trump and his team that seem to be making all the news and the decisions as well. I find it fairly odd that the transition period is so long when you compare it to the British system, which is basically the vote is on a Thursday and they're gone by Friday. The new guy or new woman, whatever, is in number 10 the following day. Seems like a more sensible system, the American system. 2 months or whatever it is. I think it's a bit longer than 2 months. I don't think he's in until 20th of January. And yeah, the world seems a bit strange at the moment. We've got all these events going on, the Syria thing that just happened, the continued bombing in the Middle East, and Well, maybe Ukraine is going to get resolved fairly soon. Trump seems committed to that. I think Zelensky will have to concede some territory, hopefully, and then we can have a bit more secure world, more bit of peace in Europe, or more peace in Europe. It's lovely and sunny now. There's not a breath of wind either. It's really beautiful. I love coming up. I always like high places. Always been into mountains, ever since I was a kid. Always wanted to get up high, and when you get to the really high mountains, like in the Alps, always quite reluctant to come back down. It's quite a sort of pure, feels more pure up there, you know. Not all the roads and the buildings and everything else, and all the detritus of modern existence. You just got you and the great outdoors, the mountains, the snow, and all of that. That's just me. Looking down on this now, just come right round the fort, and that's the chateau there, and the hills behind. Been up quite a lot of those hills, basically all of them. Just watching a plane over there coming into the airport. Hell of a lot of flights today. I guess Christmas is only a few days away, and people are traveling to see their families, etc., etc. I'm not sure what we're doing on Christmas Day. May just go to Italy, go and have a nice lunch somewhere in Italy, like Bordighera or something like that, San Remo. One good thing about this place is that, unlike Britain, it doesn't shut down on Christmas. I mean, I was checking the other day because I remember when I lived in London, and the tubes didn't run on Christmas Day, which is just mind-blowing when, you know, London is a big city. You know, I don't think they do that in New York or Beijing or anywhere else. And I checked the other day on the web, and it's still the case. There's no service at all. There's no Christmas Day. There's no buses, and there's no trams. There's no tubes, undergrounds, or anything. So, and here it's just like a Sunday service, Christmas Day. And then of course there's no Boxing Day in France. It's a normal working day on Thursday. So it's a bit better that. So I'll probably continue right around to the other fort, the two forts on Mont Boron. A little bit of snow up on the mountains there. Really not much at all though. Now, this is the path up to Mont Alban. You have to follow the road for the last section. This is like a quite popular picnic area. You can drive up here. Most people don't want to walk, but they've got loads of picnic tables, and it's quite pleasant. So continue on up to Mont Alban. Okay, so now we're at Mont Alban, which is quite impressive. This fort, some few hundred years old. I don't know exactly the date. And if we pan around, we've got the view. A little bit noisy here, there's a few kids around. And then you got the town of Villefranche down below, in the Bay of Villefranche. And there's the other fort, the Citadel, in the middle of the picture in Villefranche now. And apparently, back in the old days, they could communicate with this fort by light. They used some sort of code. Maybe it was Morse code, I don't know. Maybe the French had their own version of Morse code. But yeah, it's a pretty nice view. There's the Tête de Chien in the distance, where I was just a couple of weeks ago doing a walk, and it's pretty nice. Villefranche, we were there yesterday, had some lunch in Villefranche, and then walked to Beaulieu. That is the Cap Ferrat sticking out. Pretty spectacular. A little bit of wind now. You can't see Corsica. Good day from here you can see Corsica, and but today's not. The visibility is not fantastic. So up at the top of the fort now, or the entrance to the fort. This is it. It's all in pretty good condition actually. There's the massive front door, fort, the Alban, up there, and then this big iron, what do you call it? It's not a portcullis, is it? I'm not sure what you call that. Like a drawbridge maybe. Yeah, it is a drawbridge, yeah. Of course it can be swung up to close. Wow. That's pretty good view. See the beach right down there, Villefranche. And this is the drawbridge mechanism up above me there. And then yeah, this wooden this is obviously quite recent, this wood. It's not 2 centuries old. But you can see the hinges there. There's a big hinge. Yeah, so it can be drawn up closed to be defended. Narrow staircase as well, so that you can fight off marauding invaders. Wow, yeah, look at that. Nice. Bit rough out there now. You can see the white tops on the waves. This is further along the ridge now, heading back towards the sea. There's a huge antenna there with lots of dishes and mobile phone antenna, all the rest of it, and then over there you've got the Bay of Nice, Bay des Anges, actually the Bay of Angels, and the hills behind. Tiny dusting of snow, nothing really, very little snow this year because we've had bugger all rain down in Nice, and so that's an indication it's not snowing in the mountains. It's been clear. And then it's the other direction, the Med towards Corsica, and just down here somewhere, one of the big houses here is the house belonging to Mr. Elton John, and regular visitor to Nice for the past 30 odd years, maybe more. And years ago, more than 20, maybe 25 years ago, when I was first coming to Nice looking for an apartment, and the very first apartment I was shown, looked out with a view of Mont Boron up here, and the estate agent proudly pointed up and said the maison de Elton John, c'est là, monsieur. I remember that. I didn't buy that apartment. It was on a really busy road, but yeah. So I'm now descending back the way I've come. Basically, this is a little path through the forest. There's lots of newly planted trees. They're the blue things, the blue protections, like a little cage. Sort of. They're only plastic, I think, but you see the tree in there, and it's nice here. It's well tended, and there's no litter to speak of, and people quite responsible in that way. And this is the forest of Mont Boron. Good place to come for mushrooms in the autumn. So, because from Mont Alban I could have descended that way down back into Nice, but then I'd have to walk quite a bit out of my way to get back to my bike, so come down this way instead. A little bit of breeze now. So years ago this used to be a little cafe, restaurant or whatever, and then somebody's bought it and knocked the original down, and now it's a private residence. Looks pretty quiet. Not bad location. We're just near the road now. I'm gonna head down, gonna head the path directly down back towards the port where my bike is, hopefully. Here the wind's got up a bit now, a bit of breeze. So heading down back towards the port. This is the path. It's fairly traditional type of chemin, path, what have you. Before everybody had cars, this was the normal way to get up and about Mont Boron. This is the Église de Notre-Dame de Perpetual Secours, church on the hill overlooking the port. So I'm nearly down now. It's clouding over a bit and there's a bit winds come out of nowhere. So the final bit of the descent here, and the wind has just come out of nowhere really. And the sea, you can probably hear the wind, and the sea is getting a bit rough. Heading down there. That's been a nice little walk. It's not very long at all. It's only about 2 o'clock I think now. Oh gosh, that's 2. Finally back down to the beach, the shore, sorry, the sea, and as you can see the wind's got up, the waves are getting bigger, and this is what remains of the famous Cocoa Beach restaurant famous for its the seafood, and it was a bit of a Niçoise landmark, and then a few years ago it burnt down completely. It's a real wreck, and there was the entrance there. Coquillage is shellfish, and yeah, I don't know, dissatisfied customer or insurance job, who knows. And there was a sign a while back they were going to rebuild it. You can see over there they actually had a part of the restaurant was in the shape of a boat, that there with the boat's bow just there in the center, and there was a sign on a few years ago saying they were going to reconstruct it. Oh, it's actually underneath me now. That sign is down there. Yeah, reconstruction. December. Oh, it's more than 10 years ago. So yeah, doesn't time fly, eh? So there you go. That's it. The sad remains of the Cocoa Beach restaurant. And so yeah, not a bad little walk. You know, just a couple of hours really. But it's enjoyable. I'd hate to live somewhere flat. I like the ups and downs. I like being high up and looking down. So yeah, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. I'll leave it there.